All right, you guys. So let's talk about fabric, okay, for our runner. So what you see before you is fabrics. And so I wanted to bring to you guys the way different fabrics are carried. So right here, you guys, we have yardage. And this is when you go into Joann's and you might see boats of fabrics. And this is what they call yardage right here. Okay. Now, this right here is called a charm pack. And a charm pack is a 5x5 square. Okay. And so you can't get these at Joann's. I've seen them before, but I haven't seen them lately. I usually order mine online, and if you put in charm packs, then you will totally get a wide range of them. And so that's what that is, a charm pack. Then over here we have a fat quarter, and a fat quarter is a 18 by 21 square that is packaged for you. And this one is called a fat quarter. Okay. Then we have the beautiful, this is a 10 by 10 square, and these are called layer cakes. Okay. And the thing that I love about these already pre-cut, pre-packaged fabrics is that they all coordinate. When you buy them, usually in a charm pack you will get about 40 to 42 blocks, squares, and they all coordinate. So no matter what you're using it for, it's going to go together no matter what. And this is the thing that I love about these packaged fabrics. And then even with the 10 by 10 square, they all go together. So no matter what you are doing, it's going to go together. And so for the runner, the table runner, guys, move out the way. For the table runner, this is what I used. I used it already. So I used a layer cake. And that's some of the fabric. I used a layer cake, and the name of the layer cake was Farmhouse Christmas. And I'm trying to tell you guys, all I did, see, all of it goes together no matter what you are doing. So I really thought this would be very helpful to you. If you want to go buy yardage, you know, that's your preference. But if you're that person that just want to go, you know what, I just want it all together and cut it up and get started. And so that's what I've done. I've actually, this print, and what I did, you guys, is that I took a layer cake and I basically, smooth out the way, I basically cut this in 5 by 5 squares. So if this is it, if I cut it in the middle and then I cut it this way, I get 4 5-inch squares. And so that's what I did over here. And as you can see, this is my cutting. So what I did was, guys, I actually just cut my squares up and selected the ones I wanted, and I cut them up and I put them out on my floor row by row. Show you this right here. I did row by row. When I was picking them up off of the floor, I just did row by row and I numbered them. So, and this is row 15. So what I did was I did 7 rows across and 15 rows down. Okay, and so this is what I did. I laid it all out, and when I picked up my rows, I was just like row 1, row 2, and as you can see, that's what I did. And so when I go to the sewing machine, and stitch everything down, you know, I don't have to really think about it because I've already got them numbered. And so after I'll stitch them all together, and I'll show you that. meet you at the sewing machine when I'm done. So when I decide to sew them all together, I just put the paper back on there and keep moving. And then when it's time to actually join them all together down by the row, now I know, okay, so row 1 and row 2 needs to go together. Row 3 and row 4, and I always leave the paper on there just in case, you know, I got to get moved away or done, you know, have to do something and then have to come back. I don't get confused. So I wanted to show you guys that and show the different methods of the fabrics that you can select. Yeah, and it makes your life a little bit more easier. And I know we're all looking for that. So, okay, you guys, so I will see you at the sewing machine sewing our squares together. All right, you guys, welcome to the sewing machine. So what we're going to do now, as you can see, this one is number 1. And so this is what I do. I'll set this aside right here. And so I'll just take, when I brought them up, when I picked them up off the floor, I actually, this was the first block, and then I just went on and on, putting it underneath. So this is my first block right here. And this is my second block. And all I do, guys, that's why I was like, really fast, really easy table runner. So I'll just pretty size facing. So we'll put, yeah, turn this one on. So right sides facing. And then I have my 1/4 of an inch right here. And then I just sew. Make sure it's there. And let me get my presser foot going. And then I just sew them together. I'll show you. Cut my thread. And so now, there we go. And I will do this to each one. Now what I am going to do when I get to the pressing machine, and I'll show you guys what we're going to do, I'm going to actually press this open. And I'll explain that when we get over that way. So I'll just continue to take the next one and then just add it on. Just like this. I'll do it that way. Line it up nice and neat. Take it to 1/4 of an inch. And the marking is on your machine. If you are someone that sews, you know it's right here on your machine. A lot of people do say that that's not accurate, but you know, that's what I go on. So 1/4 of an inch, and you can get these out real fast. You need a quick, fast runner for Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, harvest. Okay, there we go. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to do row 1 and 2. I will finish those off, and then I'll do row 2, finish that off, and then I'll come back when I'm going to join 1 and 2 together. Okay? So I'll see you at the machine when I finish these right here. Alright you guys, I sewed it all the way down, as you guys can see, both sides, but I just sewed it straight down. And now let's open it up to see our seams. How beautiful did they nest, okay? Oh my word, look you guys, so pretty. And so nesting those seams give you this beautiful look where it is so nice and tidied up right there. So that's what nesting your seams is all about. Okay you guys, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do, You know I have 15 rows. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same steps. I'm going to sew each one together, and then I'll take the next one where I'll just keep putting it on top and top, open it up, right sides facing, and putting it on top of each other. And I will meet you back at the sewing machine, guys, when I actually put everything together. And then we will put the binding, no, not the binding, we'll put the back on there, the batting and the back. All right, guys, so I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, you guys, I am back. I sewed all the squares on together. You see I still have the number 1 there. That was my marker to let me know which side I was actually you know, doing. I didn't want to get all mixed up, so I knew that this was my top side. And so this is one of the tips that I use to actually mark for myself, so I don't put, you know, squares going down that way, and I just have them going down that way. So here it is, you guys. All the squares are all together. Everything looks so nice, so very nice. I'm so excited. Looks so nice, you guys, so nice. Mine measures 26 by 66, and if you do not want if you don't want yours that long, then you can shorten it. Just don't use as many squares. Okay, so now let's get right into the crochet piece that is on the table runner. All right, you guys, so now the crochet piece of our runner. What you see before you is this beautiful yarn. This is Vanna White Glamour yarn, and this is in the color of Red Stone, and it's beautiful. I love glitter, so the sparkles are just awesome. Okay, so let me tell you what I did with the crochet piece of the table runner. So what I did, you guys, and I have it right here. As you can see, it's kind of big, huh? Okay, so what I did was, you guys, I single crocheted 700 chains. And how I got to that number is I measured my piece, my table runner. I measured it, and I just started chaining until it went all the way around. And it came up to be 700 stitches. And I know you're saying, oh my word, that is a lot of stitches. It is, but if you're watching a movie and you are doing this, it is like nothing. It goes by so fast, and it is totally worth it. The piece, come on, it's just beautiful. Look, guys, absolutely, it just brings Christmas to life. So let me show you how I made it. Okay, so I just single crocheted 700 chains, and then I came back and I put just a double crochet in each one of the chains, and then the cluster, which is right here, I just put 3 double crochets. I'll show you right here. Chain 2, I'm sorry. Turn your work, and then I skipped one chain, and then I put 3 double crochets in the next chain. So 3 double crochets. There we go. And now we're going to skip the next chain, and we're going to put 3 double crochets in the next chain. And I did that the whole 700. Well, I guess it's not 700 because I'm skipping one. So it's not all 700. And that's what I did. And I just went on. So I skipped one, and then I put 3 double crochets in the next. And it gives it this beautiful, kind of like, it's, you know how people, I don't know if you guys noticed, but how people put rickrack on stuff, and when it becomes like part of something, and it's like kind of sticking out just a little bit. But these are, to me, is like little bitty flowers or scallops as they're on the piece. Because what we're going to end up doing, guys, is we're going to sew this on. Let me bring this in. I don't even know if you guys can see it, but let me take that off. I wanted to tell you guys how many stitches. And we're actually going to sew this down onto our table runner. And so these are going to be peeking out, because we're going to just sew right down here. And then this is going to be peeking out. But, you know, as we sew and put our binding, our backing on and all that stuff, so it's going to look so beautiful. And I just can't wait to finish it and show you guys. So since we've done the crochet piece, and you guys gotta add it. You gotta add it. Even if you make a smaller table runner, try the crochet piece. It just brings it to life. It really truly does with this yarn. And I know Vanna White, her yarns are just so nice. And I believe she has a silver one as well. I don't know if she has a gold one. I'm not for sure. I haven't seen it. But I know for sure she has this red and she has a silver. So if you know, whatever you choose, you have to add the crochet piece, right? Okay, so now since I showed you guys how to do the crochet piece, now let's get our backing together. So remember, we're going to have 3 pieces. We're going to have our top piece, and then we're going to have some batting to put underneath this, and then we'll have our backing. So when you turn it over, there's more beautiful fabric. Okay, you guys, so I will meet you back here when we are putting on, I'll show you my backing, what backing that I chose and what I did and all that good stuff. All right, so I'll see you back here in a few minutes. Okay, you guys, so this is the squares for my backing. And as you can see, I am doing it the same way I did the top of the runner, the table runner. Let me get that for you. These are 5 by 5 squares, and these are, I made these 9 by 9 squares. And so as you can see, I numbered them. It is actually 4 squares, and I have 8 rows. And I'm going to sew all that together, and that'll be for my backing. So I'm going to go ahead and sew all this together, you guys, and then I'm going to come back, and when we come back, we will sew the crochet piece onto our top. Okay, so I will meet you guys back here to show you my back piece. Alrighty. Alright, you guys, I am back with my backing. It is right here, and look how pretty it is. So pretty. And so what I've done, guys, for the backing, I just basically took the blocks that I had from the what I use for the tabletop, because in the packet that I showed in the beginning, the layer cake, I didn't use all of those. So I just took it and used those, and then I had some scrap fabric, some red and some white, and I just basically just put these squares together, and I made my backing. And so how we're going to do this, guys, is actually beginning quilting of how we're going to put this together, which is so cool. So when you are making a quilt, in our case we are making a table runner, the backing needs to be larger than the top. They call this the top. And so my backing is 34 by 67 inches. And my top is 27 by 62 inches. Okay, so when we are putting this together, I have like a small demo because I don't have a wide enough space to show you guys how to put the table runner together. So I did come up with a smaller version of how we're going to lay it out. And here it is right here. Okay, so we have our backing when we make our table runner or our quilt or blanket. So we have a backing, and this is a solid, but when you have what is this called? I had like train of thought, guys. Pretty side. I call it the pretty side. So when you have the pretty side facing down on your table, okay, and you just lay that out pretty sides down on the table, then you take your batting and you put that on top of your backing. Okay, so it should be the back of the backing because the pretty side is on the table. Okay, now when you are doing this, the backing and the batting can be the same if you want to, just as long as it is bigger than the table runner or the blanket. Okay, and so we're going to say this is our table runner. Okay, and so these two pieces are bigger, and so the reason of this is so when you quilt this, and quilting is when you take it to your sewing machine and you sew some lines on it, okay, or you can make a design. That's a whole nother video on that, but this is the beginning stages of this, and this is how we're going to do our table runner. So when you lay it out, this is how it would be. It would be your backing, your batting, and then your table runner. And so you would take this over to your sewing machine, and you would, for this one, the table runner, what I'm going to do is, once I do this step, I'm actually going to just very easily take my sewing machine and I'm just going to sew lines on each side of the table runner. And then what that does, it holds it on. Okay, and then after you stitch however you want, because I'm going to stitch this way, and after I'm done, then I'll stitch the other way, so horizontal, vertical, and I will do that the whole runner. And then when I am done stitching it on the sewing machine all together, then I will cut right around it. And then that's when we put our binding and stuff on. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go do all of that. I'm gonna do it off camera. I'm going to put my backing, my batting, and my top together, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quilt it, and then I'm going to come back and let you guys see what I've done. Okay, and I wanted to tell you guys for the crochet part, the hook that I used, I don't know if I told you guys, but it is a 4.25 hook size that I used to make that crochet piece. And after I do all of that, I am going to put the solo crochet piece on, but I'll show you guys that when it's all put together. Okay, so I will meet you back here with all of that done. Okay, you guys, I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I am back and I have finished everything except the binding. What we have, you see where I did the stitching on both sides, and I did it in white because I wanted the contrast color. And everything came out so nice. And as you can see, I put the crochet piece on the work, and once again, guys, all I did was sew that on just all the way around the piece. And yeah, and so I'm all done. I just need to add my binding, and I will be making that black. I will link a video that for the binding to put that on. I do have a video that shows how to do that, so I will link that in the description box with everything else that I have done and used in this video. Alright, you guys, that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you like what I am doing on my channel, you guys, just go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell symbol so you'll be notified each time I upload a video, so you will know what's going on here at Creations PS91. Alright, you guys, and remember, when you're working with your hands, you always have peace within your heart. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.